keep that energy going because it is such a privilege to introduce these fantastic actors to the stage. Please welcome Christopher Eccleston and Billie Piper. Hello. Oh, there we are. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome, y'all. I'm gonna let you just take it in for just a moment. So is this the first time y'all have been at Florida Supercon, or have you been with us before?
I've been here before.
First time for me.
Oh, a little bit of column A, little column B. Well, we are so thrilled to have you both. So first things first, Billie, anything new in your life? Anything going on?
No.
Well, fantastic. So let's get right into it. So when Doctor Who came back in 2005, it was after a 16-year hiatus of the series. So
That's quite a long time. I was, yeah, that's right.
So can y'all sort of go back in your memory bank and talk about that experience of auditioning and getting cast in the show?
You go first, because you were the first one on board.
Was I?
Yeah.
I went to I emailed Russell T Davies because I'd just done a thing with him called Second Coming. And I thought that would be interesting if somebody who's done this massive drama about the lives of gay men and then the need to destroy Christianity in the Western world writes Doctor Who. So I emailed him and I had to go to the BBC, the old BBC building on Oxford Street in Manchester, and they had a plastic arm on a chair, and I thought, here we go. And so I throttled myself with it, and then went home and waited to hear. That was it, really. They were very concerned because I'm such a miserable bastard that I couldn't do comedy. So they gave me the plastic arm to see how seriously I really took myself. And then I think I did read with 2 or 3 actors for roles. I did. But,
That's all right.
yeah, it was all right for you. It wasn't all right for me. But me and Billie had met before that.
Yeah. We have a shared friend.
Yeah, we'd met before that. We never had to read together. You were just cast.
No, I had to read.
With me?
Yeah.
We read together.
Yeah.
I'm 61. We read together.
Yeah, I did one audition on my own, and then when I did my recall with you.
Did you read with any other doctors?
No, you were already on board.
Okay. Because they wanted Bill Nighy, didn't
Did they?
Bill Nighy turned it down. Hugh Grant turned it down. Yeah. Bastards.
Yeah. So I then did an audition alone, and then one with Chris, and they called that the chemistry read, and then I got Rose.
Well, and we're very lucky to have both of you in those roles. Chris, I read a great thing where you were talking about one of the things that drew you to the Doctor was being able to pull the character away from the sort of RP pronunciation and show that there's not a correlation between that higher end accent and intelligence. Can you speak a bit about that?
It's only because it's the only accent I can do. Yeah, growing up, anything vaguely to do with science, art, literature was always fronted by a man, and always a man who had what we call receive pronunciation or standard English. And it does send a subtle message to millions of people in the country that it doesn't belong to them. So it was a tiny nod to the little boy who'd gone, I don't like that guy, he's posh. I don't trust, sounds like a Tory politician to me. So it's just a tiny nod to that. And I suppose it was a tiny step along the way to the female Doctor Who of colour, all them things. Because it had become very dated and stuck in its past. And Doctor Who's all about the future, isn't it? Yeah.
Correct.
I love that, and tiny steps make ripples. And Rose, you were 23 at the time, already a successful singer, and you had talked about moving into acting as a leap of faith, and you moved very successfully into acting. Can you talk about your decision there that you wanted to sort of redirect your career and take on this additional creative aspect?
Yeah, I was desperate to act because I went to drama school, and I went to drama school because I wanted to be an actor, and then I ended up singing, which I liked, but I wouldn't have, I wasn't, the most gifted singer. I could just hold a tune, which was enough at drama school, but I wanted to act, and so I made a conscious decision to sort of leave the singing behind. I'd sort of grown tired of it, the industry, mostly. It's quite a brutal industry, and I went to, I got myself an agent, and started auditioning for things, and Doctor Who was one of the first things out the gate I auditioned for.
You did Bella and the Boys, didn't you?
I did Bella and the Boys.
And got amazing reviews for that.
Yeah, I loved that job. That was a great job. I think it was that, and then I did Canterbury Tales for the BBC, and these were my first two jobs, and then Rose came along. So yeah, and I was obviously delighted, and it's completely changed my life.
I love that. So let's talk a little bit about your time on set and the time in the series. Any particularly memorable episodes or scenes that you filmed that have sort of stuck with you through the years?
I think the first episode has stuck with me a lot because we were filming in London, and that was the first time I'd ever done a night shoot, and and it was a brutal night shoot. It was a 5 a.m.er.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was that when we were
with
the wheel?
We were on the wheel. We were on the South Bank, but we were also, weren't we down by number 10, the Strand?
Oh God, we were, yeah.
Yeah.
And we had to rap. I remember rapping. Yeah, we were stood in the middle of a pile of rubble.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was 5 a.m.
It was brutal. That was, I could remember that. I can remember that. But I also remember our Christmas episode, or the one with Charles Dickens.
Yeah, with Simon Callow.
Yeah. Because I got to wear the big dress and the costume, and that was the first time I'd worn a period costume in my life, apart from at those photo shoot places in theme parks.
Yeah,
where you dress as Victorians, which I always did as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Simon was amazing. He was funny and just completely unique and remarkable guy. And that was a lovely episode to shoot. What other ones were there? I mean, there were a lot, but those stuck with me the most.
I just remember my favourite thing on the show really was working with Billie, doing the scenes with Billie, because we did get along really well, as we had done when we'd met socially. And I remember Billie's nervousness, which was always probably more apparent to me than anybody else, because I'd been an actor in 1991. I think I'd done 2 television jobs, and then I was given the lead in a feature film. And I spent 4 weeks of that thinking, I'm going to be sacked tomorrow. That's a common experience, isn't it? And she had no notion of how good she was being. I could see her going, I'm terrible, I'm terrible, I'm terrible. And everybody was raving about it, but you don't feel that yourself at the time, do you? Which I think is really interesting now, because Billie directs, and her experience as an actor, she'll see that in actors and be able to help them, I think.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Or destroy them.
Or destroy them.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. So we talked a little bit about sort of the RP pronunciation, and in the US, a lot of the people that I knew that were aware of Doctor Who, it was a little bit of a level of privilege because they could access the DVDs or things like that. And it wasn't until the Ninth Doctor came out that it was more accessible to be able to watch the show. And so I, in real time, experienced so many more people, myself included, being able to experience the show to now it's everywhere. So can you all sort of talk about, especially being able to come to these conventions, that awareness of how popular the show was becoming and has become?
Yeah. I didn't know that conventions were a thing for ages.
No, I didn't.
And it's so rare that you do a job that then has this afterlife, whether it's conventions or the big finish or just on the street in conversation. It's a big topic of conversation in my life now, and has always been that way since I've done it, since I started playing Rose. So it's completely remarkable in that sense, and there's nothing I've done since that has this sort of reach. Yeah, and I had no concept of how big it was in America. It's obviously gained momentum because when I think it was on BBC America when we did it, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But now it seems to have grown in scale, and obviously since the Disney thing, it's probably getting a lot more of a look at just in terms of its reach.
I mean, Billie doesn't, because of her age, doesn't remember it, and I wasn't a fan. So it was a shock to me that since 1963, was it 63? That there'd been this sleeping giant that did have the reach that it had. And there were so many obsessive people. And the whole thing that I'd missed was that it attracted minorities. I didn't realise that, it had a reach, gay men, gay women. It was a show that was very important to them because the Doctor is an outsider. He's not part of conventional society. Same with people, mental health issues and things like that, or the whole world of the show only became apparent to me because of conventions. Really, I'd missed all that.
And I also read that you are drawn to roles by sort of the writing and the script and the writers. So from an acting standpoint, what is it when you're reading a script? What is the thing that draws you in, or things?
Well, Billie's a writer now as well. So Billie's going to answer that. I'm going to the pub.
You've given me my transition question too.
Go on, yeah.
Oh, well, basically, what was it Alan Rickman said? He won an award and he said, actors don't win awards, characters do. And characters are written by writers. And the hardest job in our industry, television, film, theatre, is writing. There's nothing more difficult than sitting there with a blank page and no ideas and doing that day after day after day, which is why when I stand on sets and actors go, I'm going to change this line, I say, no, you're not, because somebody's worked really hard on that. I was brought up on writer-led television. My mum and dad were obsessed with reading books. My mum and dad had only watched the 3 channels that we had until 1981 when we got our 4th channel. If there was something, the land that dinosaurs forgot. My mum and dad only watched stuff that credited them with some intelligence, so I naturally took that on into my acting career, because if you've got a good script, you'll look like a good actor, and I'm a terrible actor, but give me a good script, and I'm average.
So, Billie, I wanted to expand that question to you. With the creative hats that you wear in different aspects, when you're looking at a script, how do you approach it differently when you're thinking about it from a performance standpoint, or a writing standpoint, or a directing standpoint, or producing, or anything else?
Yeah, it's a totally different approach every time, whatever you're doing. So if you're acting, but what I do really like about writing now in a sort of professional capacity, I always loved writing as a kid, but what I do love about it is, it's so much problem solving, and I feel like my brain is really wired to problem solve since I've had kids. And so it really scratches that itch, that's a mental itch that I have. But yeah, you are looking at it and coming from a completely different place. But I have compassion for actors when I'm writing, and when I'm acting, I have more compassion for writers, because I know how hard it is. So if anything, it's just grown my love and appreciation of every role within our industry. But yeah, it takes a totally different skill set. And look, I'm early doors, like I'm green in the world of writing. All I know at the moment is that I love it. I find it really satisfying. It really appeals to where I am in my life at the moment. I really like being solitary. I like being on my own more than I used to. I like the peace of just sitting in front of a computer and a piece of paper. Yeah, I write a lot of it on paper. I really love that. With pencils. Pretty much. It's really basic in my office. But yeah, I'm really, really loving it at the moment. But all of that can change, and probably will. With every no comes a new wave of resentment. So I love it for now. Let's see.
I love that. So we are going to transition to audience questions in just a few minutes. There are 2 microphones on the 2 aisles of the area. So go ahead and head up there. We're going to ask for your name and where you're from and your question. So I think opens up the concept of sci-fi, and the 2 things marry really well. So yeah, I guess I'm just grateful that people can connect to that part of their personality. The rose part.
His optimism, I think. His optimism and his refusal to be cowed by dictators and people like that. Sorry? Oh, okay. He's forever holding a mirror up to human beings, saying, this is the worst of you and this is the best of you. Please choose the best. Please choose the best. Don't be stupid apes. But I think, like Billie, you don't really think about legacy. You just think, I hope they believe me. I hope they believed I was that character. That's every job you do. How can I just convince everybody, including myself, that I'm that character? But it's about love, isn't it? Doctor Who's all about love. And I get a lot of love from it now. Mostly from 26-year-old people who were 5. They just eternally come up to me and make me feel very old.
we're going to get started with our first question right over here on this side. Hi, what's your name? Where you're from? Okay, we'll get someone over to help you, and while we're doing that, we'll switch right over to this side.
Hi, my name is Cheyenne. I'm from South Carolina. My question is, has there been a character or something you've written or directed that you've drawn inspiration from Doctor Who?
It's so hard because you are stood in front of what it feels like a floodlight. Yeah. So it's impossible to read you. So can you say it one more time?
Yeah, okay,
please,
sorry.
yeah.
I'm a little nervous.
Don't worry, don't worry.
Is there a character you've played or something you've done where you've taken inspiration from your time at Doctor Who, or like Rose or the Ninth Doctor? Like you use that as inspiration for another character?
Maybe for myself as a person living on our planet, I think more than for another role. I really like to have a crack at doing something completely different every time I act. But definitely in terms of just living life with that sort of sense of adventure and curiosity, I definitely think I've taken that on board more. What about you?
I think
This is worse. This one actually doesn't.
no, I think that guy thought it was my mic.
Oh, do you want to take my mic for the moment?
Yeah. No, I never associate one character with another. I think you think broadly, or some of the characteristics, but I never thought that until Billie said it. I think obviously having played the Doctor, who is, the glass is eternally half full, and I'm the opposite.
No.
I think I've tried and failed mostly to adopt his life view of, idealism and resilience and never giving in. But I think you do try and keep the characters separate. Well, some actors love to keep playing themselves, but most actors I know don't ever want to play themselves or be themselves. But that's for the therapist. Yeah.
Yeah, it's working. Yay. Hi, my name is Kathy. I'm from Miami, Florida. First of all, I want to say I'm a big fan of Billie Piper and Christopher Eccleston.
Eccleston.
Oh, sorry. I apologize if I butchered your last name.
It's all right, I'll kill you.
My question's for Billie, because first of all, I started watching you with the 10th Doctor. And my question is...
He's right here.
So this is for both of you actually. If Rose and the Ninth Doctor got reunited, where will you guys go in the TARDIS?
Rehab?
Maybe not rehab, but maybe some facility. Yeah, the pub. Actually, the pub would be great.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Rose could introduce the Doctor to alcohol. No, we'll go to the Amazon and do ayahuasca.
That would be a fun episode.
That would be good. Yeah. Where would we go?
Awesome.
I don't know, actually. We covered all the bases. We did the present. We did Rose's present.
Yeah. I'd go and see Jackie Tyler.
You go and see Jackie? Yeah. Of course, I'm frightened of Jackie Tyler. Terrified of Jackie Tyler. So I'd stand outside.
Yeah. Well, we've kind of been back recently because we did our big finish. So we did get to go back to the Tyler estate.
And we met Jackie Tyler again.
We did, and you were, as always, afraid.
Oh, very afraid. Knees knocking. So we've done a series of adventures for Big Finish together, and worked together again on the show.
And this is the audio drama the audio adventures that you're talking about.
It's out now, guys. It's out now.
Yeah, it's out now. Yeah.
It's just come out.
Next month.
Yeah.
Next month.
Next month, August.
Oh, okay.
Well done. Well done.
Jodie came out this month, you're coming out next month, then alternating.
Oh.
2025, Big Finish.
I'm really on top of things.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we got our next question right over here.
I'm Taylor, and I'm from Northwest Florida. And if you could give
any inspiration for people who want to become actors, what would you tell them?
I don't know about the US. 90% of actors in the UK are unemployed all the time. So if you're going to act, you're going to have to fail a lot. Part of being an actor is being unemployed, being rejected, and it's got to be, what's that expression when you want to go into the church? It's got to be a calling. It's got to be an absolute, I think with Billie, I did know that Billie, I knew this story, that she became a pop star, but she always wanted to be an actor. I knew that story, I'd read it or something. It has to be, it's just something that you've got to do. It cannot be an interesting career idea.
It certainly can't be driven by wanting to be famous.
Yeah, that's the worst thing.
Absolutely do you in. Yeah, definitely.
And with the rise of all them, that stuff, that celebrity culture, pop idol and all that, it's become, to be talented is to be famous. It's got nothing to do with that. It's,
yeah, you definitely have to work out what's motivating you to become an actor.
Yeah.
Because the strain on your mental health can be quite significant. If you're in it for the wrong reasons, that's only going to compound that. So definitely try and understand what it is that's motivating you. And then beyond that, kind of sort of, I don't know, it's a more negative thing. What else is there?
well, if I was speaking to somebody today, I always say, do as much theatre as you can.
Yeah.
As much of it as you can.
Because that will make you great as well.
That
makes you really...
That'll allow you to adapt to the artificiality of television and film, where things are shot in the wrong order, you're only acting for maybe 30 seconds at a time, and where everything is against what the actor's trying to achieve. Theatre, it's all about what the actor's trying to achieve. And it's fun. There's not a great deal of money and power in theatre, so you find that people behave a lot better. There's a lot more idealism in theatre. And do as much of that as you can.
Yeah, definitely, like, for want of a better word, play a lot more before it becomes, I don't know, just quite...
Way to pay your mortgage, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Do it. Like, there's nothing better than rehearsals for a play.
Yeah.
That is the most fun you'll ever have. If you're with a really fun director who allows you to do that. But that is, honestly, that's the best fun you'll ever have.
Thank you so much. We got our next question over here.
Hi, I'm Julian from Miami. My question is, what villain or villains was the most memorable for you guys to interact with on the show? Any monsters, villains, any particular monster you had that you faced in your show or on the big audio dramas? Which one is the most memorable to you guys?
Which one is what, sorry?
Memorable monsters or villains.
Well, I mean, they're not really monsters, but I remember the Slitheen being quite entertaining. And also, it was our first, it was one of our first episodes, or it was the first episode. What was it?
It was in the first block.
It was in the first block, because we were shooting in a different order. But because everyone was working with some of this stuff, technology, prosthetics, for the first time, there was a lot of scope for laughter.
Yeah.
And they were very sweet as well, so there was something quite, I don't know why I'm so into them. It makes no sense. And there are really, really fun villains on the show, but for me, they will always hold a special place in my heart.
I think the Slitheen kind of bridged the older series and the new series. They were you know, obviously, I think the technology for 2004 was really advanced compared to what the show had used before, but they retained some of the spirit of the naivety and the wobbly scenery element of it.
Yeah.
And we had a Slitheen come back, didn't we? Annette Badland came back
we love her.
for a standalone episode.
Yeah. I actually stole her ring. Not her Annette ring, her Slitheen ring.
There was we had a lot of problem with your kleptomania, didn't we? This is something she's not spoken about publicly before.
What else did you steal?
I steal I don't steal from shops, but I steal from sets.
Yeah.
You've got to, otherwise
That's necessary.
You need to, and you should.
I like this. I like the I've never met them, but the ones that look like baked potatoes. The Sontarons.
Oh yeah.
They look a bit like Clive James, who was this television presenter in the UK. A cross between Clive James and a baked potato.
When you go home, Google Clive James.
Yeah, Clive James,
nothing to you
baked
at the moment.
potatoes, Sontarons, ayahuasca. It'll be great.
Thank you so much.
guys.
Hi, we've got our next question right over here.
Hi, my name is Sherry, and I'm from Daytona Beach.
Where are you? It's like it's like a lynch situation out here.
I'm on a mobility device, so you can't really see me. I'm not standing up.
Oh, okay. I can see you. I can see you got your hand up. I can just about make out a hand.
This is me.
There she is.
Everyone is a dramatic silhouette.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Anyway, I want to say, first off, in my opinion, 9 Rows is the best new Who. I mean, 9 Rows is amazing. And talking about the Big Finish productions and the series that's coming out, I've pre-ordered, and I'm hoping that you guys will say that there might be more series coming up in the future.
Well, see if you like this first.
It depends on whether there's the appetite for it.
There definitely is.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we've got our next question over here.
Hi, my name is Monica.
Hi,
I'm
Monica.
Miami. Thank you both for coming, to see us here in Florida. But this question is for you, Billy. I just adore you and all the different seasons you've appeared in. But I feel like we've come full circle with the season ending that we just had with your regeneration. I wanted to know, how were you approached regarding that, and what was your reaction to being asked to come back in that way?
Oh, this is such a minefield, and now I have to really engage with how I answer this. Okay.
NDA.
Okay. All I can say is I was approached very last minute, and I can't talk about in what capacity, but I found it very emotional to film, and I think it's a really great ending. I found it quite, I don't know, I just found it quite moving, and I thought, and it was really fun to film because it had such a sort of cloak and dagger feeling about getting it made. So yeah, I have to lie a lot about anything to do with Doctor Who, it seems.
That was the most well-crafted, ambiguous
I'm literally
answer.
sweating.
There's a trap door under Billy's seat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Mark from MarkWho42.com and the local Doctor Who club in South Florida Weekend TARDIS.
Cool.
Question for Chris. I don't want to get into the backstory. Don't talk anything about why you left. My question is, how did either Nick or Jason entice you back to Big Finish to do Doctor Who again?
Money.
That is an honest and good answer.
I I'm supposed to say all kinds of, but we do this for money.
Yeah, no, I know that.
I
know
you know,
that,
if a guy comes and builds me a wall, I pay him.
That's true.
Oh, the light's going out. It's time to leave.
Yeah, there's an ejector seat on mine, and it's just been pressed. Actually, I'm amazed by the quality of Big Finish scripts. I'm attached to a film called Hear Me Roar, true story about. No, I'm not going to go into that. But, and what? I'm always amazed. Some of the things I've done on Big Finish, that I'm amazed that, because they have to be passed to the BBC. I'm amazed that they go no. That they don't stop some of these scripts being done as audios and put them on the television. The quality of the writers is Big Finish. Because I did need the money, but if it had been trash, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah,
Never
that's
done
true.
that. And the writing is really high. And you're gonna see it writing a Doctor Who audio is a lot more difficult than writing, The Archers or whatever.
But also, I don't know, if you watch it on telly, you're helped by so many other aspects.
Yeah, correct.
So if you're doing it just, for that one experience alone, that takes a really different skill set.
Audio drama, you're having to provide everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the standard of it, and a very Helen Goldwyn, who directs them, has directed all the ones I've done. She should be mentioned. She doesn't get enough mentions. She's an actor, a singer, a teacher in her own right,
And a writer.
and her directing skills are second to none. So it's a very well-run organisation. But basically, they're super fans. The Big Finish, all of them are obsessed with the show, as obsessed as you all are. Which is saying something.
Thank you.
I just want to let people know that you've recorded enough episodes because it's alternating 2 years of your adventures are going to go on. I think you have 12 stories, so I think it's 2 years.
So six a year?
6 a year, yeah.
All right.
God,
Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I used to be a distributor for Big Finish, I know all this.
Oh, I didn't know that.
All right.
Well. Hi.
Hi, I'm Ethan from Miami, Florida. My question to you guys is, what was it like being called back to do the Day of the Doctor and working with John Hurt and other great British actors?
Oh, amazing. That was so fun. I really, really, really enjoyed that experience. Yeah, he was amazing. What I really liked was making rollies and smoking with him outside. He was, before rollies really took off in the UK, he'd been on them for years, obviously. And so it was nice to have a fellow rollie smoker.
I didn't work on that, but John Hurt changed my life.
Oh.
He did a drama in the very early 80s, the late 70s, called The Naked Civil Servant, about a gay man called Quentin Crisp, who's probably one of the bravest men to walk the planet, refused to hide his sexuality, and John Hurt played him, and that programme, at a time of homophobia and bigotry and racism in Britain, caused the national news. John Hurt and then he went on to do things like Midnight Express and Elephant Man. John Hurt's exactly the kind of actor I'd like to be. And that was one of the last things he did, I think.
Yeah, he's such an amazing...
Yeah. And I met him once. I was doing...
Did you smoke rollies?
Yeah. I actually met him twice. The first time, it was an awards, and I was giving an award, and the night before I'd been to a Polish restaurant in Shepherd's Bush, and I'd never drank so much vodka in my life, and I fell over and smashed all my face up. And the next day I had to go in a dicky bow, which makes you look like a bouncer anyway, to this, and I sat down at John Hurt's table and he went, oh, hello. Have you been fighting? Because he was one of that generation, Richard Harris, James, Peter O'Toole, Richard Burton, they were all the wild boys. He had that quality, hence the Rollies with Billie Piper.
Yeah, he's just such a brilliant actor.
Yeah, brilliant actor.
It feels like you're working with the
Character actor, he could play everything.
Yeah.
Thank you.
guys.
Hello. Hi, I'm Todd. I'm here from Orlando. For many years following that first series, that 2005 series that featured the both of you, Christopher Eccleston was a name that was distinctly separate from Doctor Who for a very long time. And it was so exciting for myself and for my friends and other people who have loved the series, not only to see your name start to be attached to things like the Big Finish audio dramas, but especially for people like myself to start seeing your name attached to events like this, where we can all come see you and meet you and get that opportunity.
Yeah.
For the both of you who have been doing these events for a few years now, can you talk a little bit about that experience, what brought you into it, and if attending these and interacting with people who have appreciated your work has in any way impacted or changed the way you view your own work?
You first, Bill.
Okay, so that's quite a long question. I'm going to answer it in little bits, but thank you. What I love about coming to these conventions is, well, I love travel, so I really love that. I love seeing how it affects people. I feel like, as I said before, it's very rare that you get that opportunity to have that much feedback from a part you've played. And now that my kids are of an age where they are mega fans of things, I really understand more than I did before I had kids. And actually, I quite resented anything sort of fandomy when I was younger, because it felt like pressure that I wasn't able to cope with. Now I've got kids who are...
I think I thought, when you do a play, say in the West End of London, there'll be people outside every night, and they'll want your autograph every night because they're going to go and sell it. And I always say no. And I thought this would be like that, and it's the opposite. You all won. I was saying on an interview this morning, it's not about me and Billy or William Shatner, it's about you. It seems to me that you want to come to these things to say things that are important to you, to us. And it's filled my life with love, really. And I like the travel as well. It's a very positive thing, which I was suspicious of for many years.
I love you guys so much.
Thank you both very much for your thoughtful answers, and thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
I noticed you all both have the friendship bracelets.
Oh my God, I've got
Gifts.
so many of these. Yeah, I love these.
Why's Billy got more than me?
Okay, so next question.
Someone's only here for
Hello, my
Billy.
name is Sebastian. I'm from Miami, and with the rise of old classic Who villains like the Ronnie, Omega, and the Master, what is one like classic Who or like new Who villain that you guys would have wanted to fight against or play with? Oops, sorry.
Again, another time round.
Do you mean which old one would we like to meet?
Yes,
Or
yes.
new, or which, I've had the baked potatoes.
I don't know a lot about the old ones.
Right.
You can just say the Master, guys.
You've worked with the Master, haven't you? Have you worked with the Master, Billy?
No. Have I? No.
John Sim.
No, I love John Sim,
Right.
but I don't know if I've been in, I haven't been in enough.
Is Davros? Is Davros?
We
that
did
the Master?
Davros.
He's Davros is like classic Who, I'm pretty sure. Additionally, yeah.
Yeah. Davros is classic.
I'd like to meet the kids with the gas masks again. Keep their arses. I like being cruel to children.
Are you my mummy?
Get to bed.
I'd actually like to do the angels. I'd like to do. I think that even in acting with those guys, I would find that kind of like genuinely scary. But I'm not so well versed in the older ones. I tell you who I don't feel a lot about when I'm acting with.
Oh, you're gonna say it?
Yeah.
Great.
I've said it before, so I'll say it again.
Trapdoor.
I don't feel like about the Daleks. It's okay, me neither.
Me neither.
But then if you think about it, I also see the guys inside smoking in there. I'm talking about smoking a lot today. Maybe I need a cigarette. Smoking with the heads off outside. You know what I mean? So it kind of kills the magic, but also it's just slightly. I don't know. They're not scary.
Well, you'll all know. Did I once see an episode, or was it a feature film, where they took the lid off a Dalek, and it was this little green placenta thing with 2 hands? Or is that my ayahuasca? Am I right?
Yes.
I want to meet that. It looked like a kind of, I don't know, slightly pizza-esque, and like a car crash between a pizza and Gollum. I'd like to meet that.
That is a visual.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we got our next question over here on this side.
Hi, my name's Al. I'm from Lake Worth. My question was already taken, but I just want to let you guys know, I've been watching Doctor Who since I was 13, about 11 years ago. My best friend convinced me to watch it, and when he passed at 15, I continued to watch it. And I got a memorial tattoo for him of the things that brought us together. And I got the 9th Doctor's screwdriver. And I just want to thank you for being my first Doctor and first companion, because you guys are fantastic.
That's such a lovely thing to hear a lot of, like, you were my first Doctor, or you were my first companion. How do you feel when you hear something like that, knowing that you have started someone on such a journey?
Apart from old, that's the first thing that comes into my mind. When you meet like 16-year-olds who are like, oh, I was named after Rose, and you're like, oh my God, thanks. Yeah, it's lovely. Like I don't really know what to say. It's just a beautiful thing that you would never experience. I mean, it's weird to go and do a job, which it is. It's our job, and then to have that sort of level of feels back at you is both unusual and a beautiful thing, and completely unlike any other. I mean, imagine it in work where you don't get any superlatives your way, you know what I mean? So it's kind of a completely unique and wonderful thing.
Yeah, it goes back to my point earlier. People want to come and say that. These conventions are about you, they're not about us. There's been 2 people today. One, a big tough guy who started talking about watching the show 20 years ago, and he burst into tears and said, I don't know why I'm crying, but I want you to know that you were my doctor. That happens a lot. Which is why me and Billy drink so much.
Thank you so much. We've got just a few minutes left, so we likely won't make it to everyone's question, but y'all are going to be autographing and doing photos all weekend, yes?
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. Let's go on to our next question.
Hey, my name is Kenneth Gilgamesh Mejia. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and my question is, Billy, what's your favorite non-Doctor Who production you've been part of? And Christopher, I always felt like your season was short. You could have gotten a second season. Was there a reason for that? Only 1 season?
We've done all that.
I actually want to open. I want to hear Christopher's favorite roles as well.
I mean the bit about me, not the bit about Billy. My season. Why? I mean, I did 13. That was a lot.
I don't know. I felt like I needed another season.
Good man. Good man. Well, you grow up and write it. That's what I think will happen. Somebody who was 5 when I did it will write it. One day they'll be the showrunner. I honestly think that'll happen. That's the whole idea behind it. That it inspires other people to be creative and take the reins. And I'll come in on my Zimmer frame.
Favorite roles in Doctor Who? Other than Doctor Who. Yeah, I was just thinking. I kind of like them all. I think I would say this show I did, which no one really talks about here, which is fine. But it's the show I'm most proud of because it's kind of personal, but it also is a show I was really invested in from the ground up. And so it's sort of my first experience in the world that lives, in the writing and the directing and producing. And it also, I think, is the thing that, demonstrates my taste the most, which is a show called I Hate Susie, which there's actually an episode about a convention, so you might want to check it out. But I think it's the most honest piece of work I've ever done.
Did you write that?
I created it with Lucy Preble, so she wrote it, but we did all the in the room storylining and things like that together. But it was really hard to film, but it's the thing I'm most proud of. It's the thing that speaks to my personality the most, and it coasts this line of traumatic experiences mixed with comedy, and that's where and absurdity and surrealism. So that's where I feel I sit as a person mostly. So yeah, that's mine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Could there be any more of that?
There might be. There might be. Leave that there. I'd love to, for sure.
Our next question right over here.
Hi, my name's Robin Wolf. I'm from Pembroke Pines, Florida. And my question is from Billie Piper, to Billie Piper. You were worked with 2 of the best doctors in the industry. How did it feel working with 2 very good-looking men?
1 very good-looking man.
How was it?
Yes. How was the experience?
Well, it was great. 2 very good-looking men, 2 very good actors, 2 very different people, 2 very different doctors. It was an absolute gift for me. Both Chris and David are brilliant, brilliant actors, and I think when you get to work with genuinely good actors, there's sort of nothing like it. And so for me, who was sort of in awe of both of them, that was a massive coup. Yeah, and also part of the reason I wanted to do the job, I really wanted to work on it because Chris was playing the Doctor. And then when Chris left, one of the reasons I wanted to stay was because of David. So in that sense, I really lucked out. I think every Doctor has brought their own thing, and I think they've all pretty consistently been brilliant for different reasons. It's a great gig for an actor. It's not that friendly on your life, but it's definitely. I think if I was, anyway, I'll just leave it there.
The trap door was opening and you were opening it yourself, Billy. I mean, if I was the anyway.
Thank you so much.
Here comes the sweat. It's
honestly terrific.
All right, so you are likely going to be our final question. So do you have a question for both of our lovely cast members up here?
Hi, I'm Maya. I'm from Pembroke Pines, Florida, and I wanted to know what is your favorite traditional theater piece that you've both kind of worked in as either like a high school play or as anything? Oh, that's nice. You go first.
I think the play that made me want to be an actor was Macbeth when I was 17. And I played Macduff in it, which has my favourite line from Shakespeare in it, which is, I cannot but, he's speaking about his children. Macduff's speaking about his children. And he says, I cannot but remember such things were that were most precious to me. And as a 17-year-old, I heard that line, and I loved it. And also, I think I was watching the actor who was playing Macbeth in that production, amateur production when I was 17, and he was so brilliant. And I understood that that was possibly a character I could play, because he was a soldier. It wasn't a play about a king, it was a play about a soldier. And I knew lads who'd gone off and done national service, and my dad had done national service. And then I ended up playing it. I was terrible. I got better. I did get better, but Macbeth, I think, was the one for me.
I would say I loved my plays at school, I really did. And I did lots of them. But I think the thing that I loved the most was a play I did called Yerma, which was on the Young Vic Theatre in London, which is a really special theatre. And I think I loved it the most because it came at a time in my life where I really needed to be acting. And I realised what acting could do for me in terms of what I was experiencing personally. And then obviously the piece itself was something I really cared about. I love the original Lorca play, but I was really taken with the adaptation. And it spoke a lot to a lot of my friends who were experiencing the issues that the play deals with around sort of IVF and not being able to have a kid and stuff like that. And for all of those reasons, and the production itself, which was a technical nightmare but so thrilling, we were on stage for an hour and a half. There was no interval. There was a lot of music. It was in a glass box. We wore mics so we didn't have to project, which made it feel like we were making a film. It was just unlike anything I've ever experienced, and it really affected people. And so yeah, I love that. I love that. I'll never do anything like that again. And I don't know how often in an actor's career you get those moments where the stars align. I don't think it's more than 5 times, or at least that's my experience, and that's definitely up there with one of those moments. So yeah, thanks for asking.
Well, y'all, we started this panel with you sharing the impact of theater on your lives, and we've come full circle with you closing it out with that. I want to thank you both for your time and your insight and your vulnerability today, and thank all of you for your fantastic questions.
Thank you so much.